Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fusion 360 tutorial. Today we're going to be going over the Fillet and Chamfer tool. So these are something I use, these features are something I use to, let's say, soften the look of an object, which as you see here, it basically rounds over, the fillet tool rounds over the edges of a cube, a cylinder, or any three-dimensional body which you have. So for example, have a simple cylinder. If you choose any edge, or vertice, which it's your choice. We'll go to fillet. So now this window pops up. You have the radius type. So I usually stick with constant. I have never used any of the other options, although I'm sure they're very useful. This is not something that I've used, and I always usually stick with rolling ball. And what it does is when you push the arrow, it rounds over the edge, just like that. So I don't normally go that far. It's usually just a simple little round over to make it just a little bit softer. So you can do one end, and I'll do the other end, which F is the hotkey for the fill tool, and then we could go in. And technically we just made a sphere, although that was completely by accident. Now we can go to a cube, or something close enough to a cube. We can choose any one of the vertices using shift to select um, multiple amounts. And we could go to fill tool, and we could round over any of the edges just a little bit to make it a little bit softer. If in terms of whether you're 3D printing it, instead of having a sharp edge, you can just have this. It makes it look a little more professional in most cases, so you could always go overboard. So I'm going to choose these four over here to also fill it. There we go. And it's a fun tool to like experiment with to see if you like the way it looks on your object. So what else I have. And then you can do also, once again, choose any one of the edges, any random ones, and you could pull the arrow or type in an amount over here. So the fill tool is fairly simple. I use it more of just like as a finishing product, but once again, I'm not a professional. This is just what I do for fun. And now we're going to move on to the chamfer tool. The chamfer tool is one I use a little more, like a precise manner. So let me just go back to regular cylinder and a regular sort of cube. So the chamfer tool does not have a hotkey. It's in the modify section right here by chamfer. So what it does is instead of rounding it over, it creates a flat surface. So this is on a cylinder. Let's go to just a cube. Go to chamfer, just cube. It creates a flat surface at a 45-degree angle. Now, with the chamfer tool, you can also change the options, whether or not 45 degrees, you want two distances, or a distance and an angle. This is 25 and 45 degrees. You could change the angle right here. You could change the distance and then fix the angle, or you can go with two distances, where you can start from the beginning, move this over a little bit, and then move this down to more of what you want it to be. So I happen to use the two distance option the most. So for example, if I go back to the cylinder, and let's say I want to chamfer to a specific spot on the cylinder, I can create a construction line over here. Just go to construction. Right, let's say I want to chamfer it up to here. So I go here, chamfer, I go two distances, and I can move this all the way, always pretty close to that edge, and then I can decide where I want it to go from there. This is why I like two distances, or if you know the angle, you want to do the math, you know the angle, you could always do the distances and an angle. So I know I want to go this far, and now I could choose the angle to which I want it to go. One of the more common things I use these for is just like little modifications. So if I, let's say, take this edge to chamfer, I could push this in, and I click OK, and then I could chamfer this edge, both these edges again, create more of a rounded look, but more blocky. If I want to create the more rounded look, I could then select each one of these edges and do the fillet tool, and then I could round each of these edges to create something like this, which round them up a little bit, something like that. I can then choose this and this and fillet it just like that. And then I go back around here and I can choose chamfer just like this. And this actually looks like a computer mouse to me. I don't know why. But technically I have successfully created a computer mouse. I can technically just, let me see what I can do here is play around with it. Go with an ellipse. It's a little too big. You move this over here. Now I'll select this, E, let's do 5. So now that's like this, and then once I want to create the mouse ball, I can do a fillet and go as far down as I can. Oh, that's a little too far. Just like that. And there we go. The world's chunkiest, worst looking mouse. But this is all just using fillets and chamfers starting from a 3D object. And that is the basics of fillets and chamfers. There, once again, each one of these features have many more options. I have not tried them out. But you're welcome to experiment with them and have fun with them and see what you can come up with. Next video, we'll be talking about the shell tool, and that should be video number 5.